Hello you guys, and we are cooking out of Nana's kitchen again. As you know, I'm still taking care of her, but that's okay because we get to use her awesome kitchen. So I saw this recipe and I tweaked it up a lot because I want a good sturdy marshmallow, and I have not been able to find any recipe that really held up to its true jiggly, puffy, good stabilized mushroom. So here's a standard star regular mushroom. I cut it out with a cutter. I also made a mold one out of a letter. Remember, keep in mind, you do not have to make them like this. These are two-toned. This is the awesome colored rainbow one. Also, we made this marshmallow cake. This is a 5-inch cake, and all I did was mix the colors, put them in the pan, and we let it set for a while. But how awesome is this? You cut it into strips, and then you can cut the shapes out of it. Completely up to you, whatever you want to do, but I thought this marshmallow was the funnest one of them all. Now, this recipe is going to give you a white marshmallow like this, depending on the thickness or if you want to add color. It's completely up to you 100%. I'm going to show you how to apply it in the mold, and I'm going to show you how to put it in a pan, just like a cake pan. This 3-inch deep one works perfect, or if you have a 4-inch one. I think these marshmallow cakes would be perfect. Also, we have a pan lined. We greased it up, and then we're going to put our powdered sugar cornstarch mixture. So I just wanted to show you what we're going to be doing before we get started. So let's get started. We want to do 2.5. I found out if we use 3 gelatin packets, it firmed up too fast before I could color them. So it was harder for me to color the marshmallow. So 2.5 gave me the consistency and enough time to color it and stack the marshmallow goop together in a pan. So I highly suggest 2.5. But if you want to do 3, if you're not worried about coloring it or texturing it, or you're putting them in mold or anything like that, and you're doing straight marshmallow in a pan, then go ahead by any means. I'm putting half of that in there, and then I'm going to save the other half. I'm going to put that over there. We're going to throw these away. And then we're going to add a 1/2 cup of water to our mixing bowl. Why are we putting it in our mixing bowl? Because it saves us a lot of dishes. It saves us a lot of dishes, and we don't have to scoop it out of something else and put it in the bowl when we're going to make sure we already have it in here. Remember, work smarter and harder sometimes, but work smarter. So I'm just mixing it up, giving it a quick whisk. And we don't want to whisk it up together, we're just whisking it so the gelatin and the water comes together. That's it. Don't need that much. See, we're just trying to combine it. Leave it here. We're going to let this set. By the time we get done with the sugar syrup and everything else, we'll be adding that to that mixture. Alright, so now we're going to do 1 3/4 cup of sugar. So we're going to get our sugar. 1 3/4. 1, 2, 3. Now, marshmallows are really inexpensive to make, and if you can personalize the marshmallows, oh my god, even better. So now we're going to do 3/4 of our corn syrup. Make sure it's the white corn syrup, not the dark one, because then you're going to get a dark marshmallow. Unless you want that. We're going to do 3 of these. Get my spatula, scoop the rest of it out. And then we're going to do 1/2 cup of water in here, okay? So we'll do 1/2 cup. Let me use the 1/2 cup measurement. Pour that in there. Mix mix it up, turn it on. I would say a medium-high is good. So a medium-high flame works good, okay? Do not rush it. So the degree that we want this to come to is 240. It's the softball stage. If you guys know anything about candy making, or if you've taken my lollipop class, you understand where the hard rock stage is and where you need to be. So we don't need this to get to 240. Okay? So I already have it measured where I need it to go. I'm just going to put that in there. Just make sure everything's incorporated. You don't need to keep mixing it. You just want to make sure everything's incorporated, okay? Should take about 10 minutes or so, depending on your climate, okay? So we're going to leave that. We're going to let that simmer. While that's simmering, we're going to bring, where is my other cup? A third cup of powdered sugar. Okay, third cup of powdered sugar. Remember, the ingredients and the recipe and everything is in the description box below. And then we're going to do a third cup. So we're doing half-half ratio of cornstarch. Why the cornstarch in the powdered sugar? Because it keeps the marshmallow from sticking. If you ever worked with marshmallow, marshmallow sticks a lot. And it can be really, really tricky. So we're just going to sift that together. This is a really super easy recipe. Trust me, you guys are going to get this on the first try. It's good. I just love this recipe. Like I said, I had to see how it's sizzling a little bit. We're just going to add a pinch of salt. Nothing else, just a pinch. That's it. A pinch of salt. Because that's going to counteract with all the sweets we just put in there. Okay, put the salt away, we're done. So now we got our mixture, powdered sugar and cornstarch to keep from stuff sticking. Now, this spray, any kind of spray, olive oil spray, you can use oil, vegetable oil, Crisco, you can use any of that, whatever you prefer to use. Make sure you don't have to do the liner. You can put it directly in the pan. You can do that. But make sure you spray it. Make sure it's 100% sprayed because it will stick. Marshmallow does stick, okay? Running out of that one. So I'm spraying the whole liner. And then I'm going to get some of our mixture. Make sure you get the edges too. Don't forget about the edges. Some people forget the edges. And then their marshmallow sticks to the edge. You don't necessarily have to do a powder cornstarch mixture. Most people like to just use oil. I like to make sure that it's going to pop out. So I take any precautions to help my homemade marshmallows to pop out. You can make Rice Krispie treats with this. It tastes so much better. Trust me, I've tried it. Alright. So now you got that. You can pop the excess to the sides. Overall, if you cannot get the sides full of the powder cornstarch mixture, it's okay. I'm just dumping the extra out. Just make sure you have it sprayed. Like so. So we're going to put this to the side because we don't need this till the mixture comes together. Same thing with the molds. We're going to spray the mold, like so. We're going to get a napkin, because we don't need that much in there. And whatever mold you're using, you could be using a clear mold. Stepped away to get this other mold. So this is a cool mold I got at the dollar store that is great for Halloween. So I would just put some spray in there as well. I'm telling you. All these molds you could be using for your marshmallows, but you gotta do it right. You gotta spray it, and these ones you do have to add the cornstarch powdered sugar mixture. Enough for you to tap in and out of there, like so. Okay. The more the better. It just assures it won't get stuck, okay? Don't be afraid. Be generous with the powdered sugar. Generous. And whatever mold you're using. Like so. This one I already coated. I already sprayed and I already coated. You can double coat it again if you want to. We're going to put these aside. We're not adding the vanilla extract until we need to mix it in with the gelatin. Let's see where we're at. We're at 200, so we're almost there. See? And that's giving this time for the gelatin to bloom with the water, okay? So, in about 5 minutes, we'll mix it up. Make sure there's no big old chunks in the mixture. This is almost there. Ooh, this one went fast. Depending on your climate or your temperature, remember, this could take longer, this could take not longer. You just don't want to burn it. You want to get it to 240. Sometimes the thermometer might not work. You might want to get a different thermometer. Like I said, I bought this one at Walmart for $3. Okay, and everything that we have is super easy to get accessible. You can get gelatin at the store, like corn syrup. You can get sugar, vanilla, powdered sugar, cornstarch, all in the baking app. Now, my colors of choice are always obviously Chef Masters. I don't need a lot to get good colors, but I love the colors that it gives me. You can use regular food coloring. You do not have to use Chef Masters. I've used food coloring. Whatever you want to do. I just want to show the elasticity of this marshmallow. All the extra scraps I'm saving, putting it in a bag, and I'm going to make Rice Krispie treats because it's so delicious. This marshmallow is so delicious. I can't express how delicious it is. Alright. Now, if you are coloring it, and I'll show you, we'll probably do like some swirls and stuff, and we'll probably won't do this rainbow one, but this is just coloring it, layering it, however you want to do it. Let me get my bowls. I'm going to do 2 colors. I'm going to do 2 separate colors so you can see how I color the marshmallow. But whatever color you want to do it. This is almost ready. It's at 2:30. Whew. That was kind of fast. But then again, I'm in Arizona. We have the driest weather of them all. Alright, so let's see. A couple more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on this. I want to show you that it's bloomed. You see that right there? It's bloomed. So I'm just making sure there's no huge clumps. The heat of the sugar mixture is going to melt anything that, like any clumps that are in there, but you just want to make sure there's no clumps on your end that you're not bringing into the mixture. So we're good there. We are at 240. Alright, so what you want to do, take the thermometer out, and then immediately turn off the stove. It will calm down, it will stop bubbling, and then what we'll want to do is start pouring it, and I'm just going to face you guys to the mixer so you can see what I'm doing. Okay? Alright, so I'm removing it from the heat, bringing it over here, and I will be showing you the inside of the bowl so you guys don't get scared at home. I've had a lot of people say, I don't think I did it right, or it's not coming together. It is, trust me. Alright, so no bubbles, it's not heating up no more. Low speed, okay? All I'm doing. And it's going to be hot. You're pouring this a little bit at a time. So make sure you pour in the whole mixture from the pot. It's going to be hot. Alright, so there's nothing in here. Alright. I will give you an inside look. What's going on. We're going to keep it on low speed for about 5 minutes. We just want it all to get incorporated. Okay. I'm going to move you, zoom you out. There we go. Just set this down. So now we're on low speed. It's been about 3 minutes. Everything looks really incorporated. Don't worry about any white bubbles that you see. It's perfectly normal. There we go. And then we're going to kick it up. 1, 2. Careful. It's still hot. You see the steam coming out of there? Still hot. But it's coming together. You see the bubbles is forming? We're creating air. We're bringing air into the mixture, which is great. So we're just giving it time to mix together. This is the part where you're more patient. Now, about this time, we're going to introduce the vanilla, whatever flavor you want to do. Using strawberries, be creative. I'm going to do 2 teaspoons. Now, that does cool the mixture down, and it does help with what we're trying to achieve. Now, I'm going to kick it up again. Be careful that you don't splash any of the hot stuff onto you. It will come together. This is the part where a lot of people doubt themselves and they don't see it coming together and they throw it out. Do not do that. This is the part where you gotta be patient. I promise it's gonna be so worth it. You can see it getting opaque in color. See that opaque? The vanilla did change a little bit, but don't worry about that because the air being incorporated into the batter, the marshmallow batter, is going to change it. So don't you worry. The more air, the better. So I feel it's getting pretty opaque. It's doing really good. Kind of looks like a dirty rice water right now. We're doing fine. I kicked it up a notch. And now we just leave it and we let it get its magic right now. We just set it and forget it. No. Now you can clean all your other stuff and put everything else away. Put your pots, pans, anything you want to do. Make sure any spatulas you're working with, you do cover in oil, whatever you want to spray. I highly, highly, highly recommend you spray all of your spatulas. So I picked it up again. And now it's just awaiting because the mixture was so hot, you can feel your bowl, it's super hot. You gotta wait for the air to kick into the mixture and cool it off. the weight. But it doesn't even take that long. You can get so many different kinds of marshmallows out of one mixture. And I got the rainbow one, and I got the regular white one, and it got cut out, you know. I just love how jiggly it is. It's coming together. You see that? How it's turning white? Look how jiggly this is. Look at that. Look at that. But it's super delicious. I've never tasted a marshmallow so delicious. I think my grandmother made some, but I don't remember tasting them. Now you can see it coming together. It's turning white right before your eyes. Into the mixture. It's not as hot anymore. It's feeling warm, but not super hot. Now, if you want to check your batter, it'd be a great time. I still feel it's not done. Still a little too watery. Let's incorporate more air. I'll show you when it's time. So I have it on my highest speed. Remember, a lot of people give up before this stage even happens. Okay, I say give it about 5 more minutes. You want it to be gooey, but you want it to have that sticky consistency. And once we put our finger on there, and I'll show you with my fingers how that happens, make sure you spray your bowls, whatever you're going to dip it into, to give it a different color. Alright, beautiful white marshmallow. Still not where I want it. I'm telling you, you have to be patient with this. It doesn't give me that stickiness that I was looking for. I say another 5 minutes. And I'm doing it like this because I know a lot of people are impatient sometimes. So you see it's doubled in size, fluffy on the sides right there. You see the fluffiness is like a cloud. Patience, patience, patience. Alright, I think we're done. See how it's dripping but not fast like it was? Perfect, perfect. This is what you want. Alright, so now we can bring it back this way. And we're going to work fast. Now, depending on how many colors you want, remember, work fast. Spray any of your bowls that you are using. Wipe them down. Now, this is marshmallow. Remember, it's going to get sticky. You can take everything off the excess of the whisk wire, but so all I'm doing here, I'm gonna put some in there like so, and then we're gonna put some in there. Depending what colors you want to use, go for it. Then all I'm gonna do, because I'm not gonna do too many of that, is I'm gonna put some in the mold that I have right here that we already, you don't need a lot, but you will have to work fast. Now tap it. This is messy, but this is so fun. I would suggest doing this with your children. Now smooth it out. Again, same thing with the mold. You can put it in a piping bag if you're going to do that. Get the piping bag and make sure that there is you grease the inside of the piping bag. Or you could do the old-fashioned way, just like I'm showing you. You could just get a scraper, scrape the excess marshmallow. But I like to be messy. I mean, it's no fun if it's not messy. Alright, so on and so forth. So I'm going to put the rest of it in the pan over here. So the pan that we just greased and powdered cornstarch ratio, that's what I'm doing with the excess marshmallow. Make sure you top it, because however you leave it, it's going to set like that, okay? Now, I'm going to put a little bit of color in there, a little bit of color in there. We're going to mix these. It's very light green. I usually have a heavy hand, but it doesn't work. So work fast. You're still incorporating air. Alright, then you get your pan, whatever you want to use. Introduce it into the pan. Like so. Make sure you smooth it out. Okay, next is your purple. Remember, use different spatulas. Do as I say, not as I do. Now, the wonderful thing about this is that I just plop it in there. Got some beautiful lavender, purple, and green. Now, all you have to do now is set it and forget it. Easiest marshmallow recipe I've ever showed you guys, and you can make them in so many different ways. So we just wait, and everything that you've seen on the flyer is from the marshmallows. If you want these colors, just keep adding different layers on top of this one. Spray with oil, spray with Crisco, spray with whatever nonstick that you have. So we're just gonna let this sit. I say approximately 2 to 4 hours overnight if you want a really firm marshmallow. Okay, but my recipe is pretty good around 2 to 4 hours. Just let it sit, be patient, and then anything that you cut it with, you're gonna spray, and then get your powdered sugar, cornstarch mixture, introduce it, and then cut out. It's really not that hard, it's pretty simple. Okay, powdered sugar, cornstarch mixture, cut it out, pop it out. Now you can do this with anything. You can use the mold, you can use cutters. It just really depends on what you want to do. Well, I hope you guys learned a lot from this video. Tune in for my next one. I'm not sure what we're going to do yet, but if you have any questions, again, everything is in the description box, ingredients, answers, and utensils, and everything that we have to use, all right? I hope that was an easy marshmallow class for you. Till next time.